Number 1. The Law Cafe, a law romance drama that depicts the story of Kim Jang-ho, a former prosecutor who is now a building owner, and Kim Yuri, a lawyer with a 4D personality. The story will focus on the events surrounding a law firm that also runs as a cafe. Number 2. Little Women, about 3 sisters with a close bond who grew up in poverty. It is the exciting story of the sisters as they get embroiled in a major incident and face off against the wealthiest family in the nation. Kim Go-yoon plays the eldest sister, In-ju, who wants to protect her family with money. Growing up in extreme poverty, her only dream was to live as well as other normal people. But a major incident completely shakes up her life. Nam Ji-hyun takes on the role of the second sister, In-kyung, a news reporter who does not want to bow down to money and aims to always do what's right. When a mysterious case from her early reporter days returns close to her, she starts digging for the truth. Park Ji-hoo transforms into In-hye, the youngest, overwhelmed by the love of her older sisters who work hard for her. Although she has never even used decent art supplies due to their family's financial situation, she enters an art high school with her natural talent. Number 3. Once Upon a Small Town, Han Ji-il works as a veterinarian in Seoul. One day, he receives a phone call from his grandfather. His grandfather doesn't mention specifics, but his voice sounds serious. Han Ji-il decides to go to Heedong village, where his grandfather lives and runs an animal clinic. There, Han Ji-il meets police officer Ya Young. It turns out his grandfather is actually touring Europe. According to the note left by his grandfather, Han Ji-il has to take over his grandfather's animal clinic for a half year, while his grandfather is away. Even when Ya Young was preparing for her test to become a police officer, she wanted to work as a police officer in Heedong village, where she grew up. She is usually the first one to appear and provide help to residents in need. She helps Han Ji-il solve inconveniences related to his daily life in the village, and they develop a romantic relationship. Number 4. Youth MT. Youth Mount is a new-thing variety show featuring the reunion of actors from Love in the Moonlight, Itaewon Class, and The Sound of Magic. The casts of producing director PD Kim Sung-yoon's 3 dramas will reunite to go on a refreshing retreat. MT stands for membership training and refers to going on a retreat in which people hang out, play games, and take time to bond with one another. Number 5. Narco Saints, the life-saving journey of a Korean drug king in Suriname in South America and a businessman who was engaged in a secret operation by the NIS. Number 6. Mental Coach Galgil, a sports drama about a former national athlete who quit sports after causing a scandal and becomes a mental coach to help former professional athletes who have retired and current athletes who have fallen into a slum. Galgil is a former national taekwondo athlete who is known for his hard work and dorky charms. After he causes an unprecedented accident in the athlete's village, Galgil is permanently expelled and coined the unlucky taekwondo prodigy. Once he overcomes his past trauma and regains his mental health, Galgil returns to the athlete's village as a mental coach. Galgil is a former world-class short track speed skating gold medalist who has fallen into a slum. Unable to confide in anyone, Galgil begins to beat herself up until she meets mental coach Galgil. Gu Tae-man is the director of the Human Rights Center in the Korean Olympic Committee. The former Taekwondo Olympic gold medalist has a strong desire for power and is the reason Galgil's life was transformed overnight. With the belief that anything can be covered as long as he is number 1, Gu Tae-min does everything he can for the top position. Park Seung-ha is a part of the mental health support team in the athletes' village. She is the perfect example of a kind daughter who was raised well Her endures an unexpected hardship after meeting Ji Gal-gil as her first patient. Park Seung-ha ends up leaving the hospital and applying to the athletes' village instead, where she surprisingly reunites with Ji Gal-gil, this time as advisor partners. Number 7. Glyun. Ryu Sung-joon, Ryu Sung-hoon, and Jo Yoon-ki become involved in a serial murder case involving jury members as the victims. These three individuals try to uncover the truth behind the deaths. Ryu Sung-joon works as an enthusiastic detective. He is always determined to catch the bad guys. Due to his determination, his arrest rate is always among the top for detectives. His older brother is Ryu Sung-hoon, and he works as a judge. Ryu Sung-hoon is a perfectionist and smart enough to have passed the bar exam with the top score and graduated at the top of his class at the Judicial Research and Training Institute. He is an upright man who does his best to impart a fair judgment. Jo Yoon-ki works as a social worker. She has a warm heart and is full of justice. She always puts people first and tries to be a reliable guardian to children who come from poor backgrounds. Number 8. Love in Contract tells the story of a helper service that provides wives to single people needing partners to take to gatherings for married couples and school reunions. The story portrays Cho Sang-yoon as she gets entangled with Young Ji-ho, who is on a long-term exclusive contract for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Kang Hae-jin, who signs a new contract for Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Cho Sang-yoon is a woman possessing many great qualities and virtues. As the perfect partner, she chooses a career of helping single men who don't want to get married instead of getting married herself. Young Ji-ho, who has been in a long-term contract with Cho Sang-yoon for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for his 5th year. In addition, for the reason behind his contract being a secret, Young Ji-ho is a mysterious character whose occupation, hobbies, and personality are also shrouded in a veil of secrecy. And Kang Hae-jin, a rich heir as the family's youngest son and Hallyu star. Number 9. The Golden Spoon. Would you trade your poor but loving family for a life of riches? When Seung Cheon gets his hands on a magical spoon that allows him to switch lives with his rich best friend, he thinks it's a no-brainer. That life-altering decisions are always accompanied by a sense of doubt. And with only 3 chances to change his mind, Seung Cheon has to decide which of his 2 possible futures is worth keeping.